Welcome back to Market Pros. Let's jump right into it. All right, so here we got Solana on FTX on the 1 hour. We're on the 1 hour because not much has changed. We did get this, but we did get this bounce off of this trend line. Um, worked our way up slowly but surely. Now we have our 21 and 50 with positive slopes. Uh, 100 and 200 still have negative slopes. And it looks like they're either going to flatten out and curl down or pop back up. Just depends on what we do with these next two candles. So your RSI is bouncing off of the bearish control zone as of now. Um, so yeah, we don't want to enter that. If we do, it'll probably force price action back down to, first of all, 103. But honestly, I think we would come back down to 101.15. Your MACD does have a fresh cross to the downside, and your negative momentum is increasing. Let's see here. So your vol is in the lower zone, and your volume has been slowly decreasing as the price action consolidates. So what that means is supply is being taken, or supply is being put back into the market, which means that we can have a pretty big move next, especially because the volatilities in the lower zone basically made a double bottom on the lows. So, okay, let's see here. Validation of the upside would be to get back above this last high at 107.22. Validation of the downside would be to break this diagonal trend line. If we do break that diagonal trend line, like I've said before, I think we come all the way back down to, the 71, 72 region. Maybe a little different, depends on how long it takes to get down there. Yeah, I mean, we'd have bounces along the way, of course, but honestly, I think that's where we would go if we do break this blue line and this trend line. I do think we would get a big bounce at 102.50, which is basically this one of the point of controls of the VPVR. Now, if we can pass this last high and get back above this purple region, I think the next stop is 121, but honestly, I don't think it would stop there. I think we would get up to 133.50. Now, a lot of this depends on what Bitcoin does, so definitely pay attention to Bitcoin. Let's move on to Atlas. All right, so here we got Atlas on FTX on the 1 hour. We are consolidating in this purple region. Now, it does kind of look like we're forming some sort of ascending triangle, which I really don't trade off of triangles too much, but I found that the ascending triangles and descending triangles work out quite often. So you would take your measured move. Your measured move would be the top of this purple box at 0.0269. So yeah, if these moving averages can cross bullish, because your 100 or your 21 and your 50 are trying to cross the 100 right now. So that's bullish. If they can cross, I would expect a minor rejection from 0.0265, and then probably come up to this last wick high at 0.0276. Your RSI is in the neutral median zone. We are below the signal line. Okay, let's see. So we do have bearish divergence from this point on the RSI to this point. Let's check, because that's really close. Actually, we don't. Or no, we do. We do. Okay, so yeah, from this high to this high, if it's confirmed, if this high is confirmed, we would need to get back below this 50 moving average in order for this to be confirmed as a high. Your MACD, fresh cross to the downside, negative momentum is increasing. Vol is printing the low signal. And your volume seems to be heading down, which means supply is getting put back into the market. So between that and the vol, the next move will be pretty nice. So validation of the upside would be to break these highs and validate the ascending triangle. Validation of the downside would be to make this a high, come down to the 50, and then probably play out that bearish divergence and probably come back down to 0.0247. So we'll come back to it after that. Pay attention to this range. You know, if this ascending triangle plays out, it would lead us to the top of the range. If we break out of the top of the range, that's going to look real good. If we can break this blue line, I think the next stop is 0.299. And if that breaks, 3 cents. So yeah, pay attention to this range and the end of this range in the purple box. So let's move on to Polis. All right, so here we got Polis on FTX on the 1 hour. RSI. Looks like we could be entering the bearish control zone. If we come up and retest and then resume down, that's not going to look good. Let's see here. MACD riding the 0 line. Fresh cross to the downside though, and your negative momentum is increasing. Let's see here. So your vol is basically, I mean, of course, in the lower zone, but you basically almost printed that low signal, which means this next move, once again, will be nice. Validation of the upside would be to get back above this high at 153. I think that would lead us into this green region at 161, right where this 200 moving average is. If we can break 167, next stop is the top of this previous breakdown point at 175. That breaks 192. That breaks $2. And if that breaks, 212. All right, now to the downside. Let's check. Okay, so we don't need these. Let's delete this. Yeah, see, these descending and ascending triangles play out pretty often. I don't trade other triangles besides those. Okay, so if we do break that level to the downside, I think we come down to 134, which is the low, which is the all-time low. If we break that, we're in price discovery. Then it's going to be harder to see because even our fibs don't reach down that far. So we will be in price discovery, and we'd have to come back to it and find out our next support levels. So that's Polis. Pay attention to your levels. Stay nimble. And let's move on to Bitcoin. All right, so here we got Bitcoin, which is the big daddy of the market. Because this is going to dictate a lot what happens with these other coins. You know, previously, Solana, Atlas, and Polis. You know, Atlas looks all right as long as it breaks that ascending triangle, but honestly, Polis and Solana don't look too good, and Atlas could turn bearish very quickly. Now, first of all, your RSI is bouncing off the neutral median line. We are below the signal line, though, and looks like no divergences to be aware of. Now, on the MACD, fresh cross to the downside, pretty fresh, and your negative momentum is still increasing. Vol is in the lower zone, starting to expand. Okay, so it looks like we could be forming a Bart, which is when the price moves up, goes sideways in a kind of choppy range, and then goes back down, gives up the whole rally. This can also work inversely. So the price could come down, go sideways in a choppy range, then pop back up and give away the whole downturn. So validation of that would be to hit this alarm that I have right here at this line. And I mean, you can probably tell what I would be doing next. So, but that's only if it closes on a 1 hour closure below the 50. And it would confirm that this kind of just rolled over. So validation of the upside. Let's move this purple line up. Okay, so, oh, that was a fib. Let's take that off. Validation of the upside would be to get back above 41,500 on a 1 hour closure. I think we would come up to the 200 at 42,150. Next stop would be the POC on the VPVR at 43,360. Now, if we can get above 44,600, that's where I think we start talking about the 50K again. I would think we would hit 50K if we can get a daily closure above 44,600. Now, validation of the downside would be to get back below 39,600. If that happens, I think we go to 37. If 37 breaks, I think we go to 35. If 35 breaks, I think we go to 33. All right, so that's Bitcoin. I mean, Bitcoin's pretty short and sweet. If we do break down, start watching those levels. If we do break down from here and cross this last low, honestly, I think we go to 35. All right. And like I said, if we break 44,600, I think we go to 50K. So those are my thoughts. If you guys like the video, like the video. And if you enjoyed the content, subscribe and leave a comment down below. Tell me how I did. Tell me how I can improve. So everyone have a great morning, great afternoon, great evening, wherever you are. And I'll see you in the next one.